Welcome to EDC Journeys. If you enjoy the video, give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing, and I hope you enjoy. What's going on, EDC people? And what's our journey this time? Well, let's talk about the FreeTiger FT903 in D2. FreeTiger FT903 in D2. It's a great budget knife. It is one of the FreeTigers that has been tested by Love Them Knives and is authentic D2 with a decent heat treat, it seems. As opposed to, there apparently was some models of FreeTiger that were not legitimately D2. This one is, and it's kind of a cool knife. It has a choil that you can sneak up on. Well, let me back up. Let's do some measurements. First of all, let's weigh this guy. In grams. We have 116.9, let's say 117. In ounces, 4.125, so about 4 ounces. Okay. So in lengths, we have just about in inches 3.45 on the blade. Sorry about that wind, like usual. And about 4 point, well, if I could get it lined up right, about 4.51 is where it comes out to. Okay, so for a grand total of like 7.96, which is just about 8 inches. So it's probably exactly 8 inches if I look at the website. Okay, so that's the length. Alright, it's in D2 steel. Let's look at the ergonomics. It has this finger slot here. Well, it's actually the cutout for the lock bar, but obviously that's where your index finger is going to land. The handle, it has this, it's contoured G10. You can kind of see it rolls up, and then it has this hump and it rolls down. So it actually, in a way, it's very comfortable. I'm not sure how I feel about the hump. I can feel it with my fingers. I don't feel it on this side at all, but it doesn't really bother me, I guess. So it does have somewhat of a swelling effect, I suppose. As I was saying, it does have this spot. It's not a finger choil, that's for sure, because you can get real close to that heel tip. Okay. Now, oh my god, somebody is sending me a ton of photos right now. Okay, I don't even know who that is. Okay, anyways, it's definitely not a finger choil, but if you're careful, you can sneak up if you were going to do some careful stuff here. It's a drop point blade, but it does have kind of this harpoonish kind of swedge looking thing. The jimping ramps up. I like that, especially when you creep up, because I can get some serious control on it. You just have to be really careful, because that's one thing I don't like a lot. A lot of times they have to build choils to go around, like G-locks or axis locks, but in this case they didn't, and so I wish they either chose a sharpening choil, which I suppose is what they did. It's just a huge one. Well, is it that big? Look at that plunge. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's a decent sized sharpening choil, but it's really not a finger choil. So I kind of wish they either made it a little bigger so that it was a full finger choil, or a little less, brought the blade back a little bit more or something. I don't know. It's an odd shape, but you can use it. But it is still comfortable back here. And again, this is a nice budget knife. It arcs like a lot of knives. The line on it is pretty sharp. It's got this kind of, like I said, almost harpoonish swedging to it. And then the handle kind of comes back. You have a blue back spacer and G10 back here, integrated lanyard loop. The clip The clip is, it's a clip. It works. It's very tight. It's not too springy. It comes up, it's kind of sharp. So the good news is that it can get into pocket okay, but it's not a very springy clip, and that tip can be annoying in some people's hands. It happens to tuck right into like the fat of my, I don't know, the reverse knuckle fat or whatever that would be called. Oh my gosh. Windy. All in all though, for the price, I think it's something like $25 for, maybe $30 for a D2, true D2 knife, around 60 HRC, G10 contoured handles, liner lock, amazing action actually. Flips right out, and you can draw. I mean, are you kidding me? That drops better than some expensive knives that I've seen, that I've held. Two at the most, really, but I could do it easily in one if I just give it a good flip. It's very good action. Yeah, it's you see there's jimping right on the top there. If you use that jimping and push, you're fine. I mean, that's they really designed it pretty well, in the sense that the pivots here, the thumb stud, I mean, the flipper tab is here, which is above it. So geometry wise, if you use that jimping, you're not going to fail. I don't think it's really possible to. A lot of people say that FreeTiger is another Ganzo brand, or at least made maybe by that factory. I mean, if you look at that logo compared to, say, I don't know, this logo. I'm not saying it's the same logo whatsoever, but the similarities are there. Can you see that? Even the back billboarding, it's different, but it's the same. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's a little bit too much of a coincidence, I think. Somehow I have a feeling that Ganzo is involved in FreeTiger, but I'm not sure. I don't have any proof of that, so don't quote me on that, I guess. All right, what else? The clip lands on that hump, which also in a way is good, because it does make it easier to slide in and out of pocket. However, because it's not springy at all, it can definitely eat pocket, because so you have that it's okay. It's smooth G10, but when the clip is that tight, I mean, I can't even. It's a pocket eater. Let's just put it that way. Okay, but again, you're getting premium. You're getting a real D2. You can see that it's kind of. I do like the difference. It's got this like satin blade with this like stone washed top flat, and then the swedge is also flat, but the swedge goes in. It looks pretty sharp, actually. That's all. That's why I say it's like harpoonish looking to me. I don't know why, from here to here. Blade height. About 0.4 inches on the blade height. 0.3 as you go down. Obviously it's going to change as it tapers down, but I always try to do it from the tallest point. I get 0.43, guys. Okay, stock. I'm not going to do it at the jimping. I'm going to do it right. I'm going to actually go down to the flat if I can. 0.13 inches. Let's switch to millimeters for that. About 3 millimeters, 3.5 millimeters, which is about what I see on a lot of them. I've got to research how to do a behind the edge measurement, because I am no good at it. I really have no idea. But what I can tell you is, for a flat grind and an extremely high top, it's got a slicey geometry, and that drop point, it's sharp looking. And I don't mean that in the literal sense. I mean it's good looking. It's very, the jimping is good. It's not like painful, but it definitely can stop your thumb. Again, let's see what else I can show you here. Let's see, is it skeletonized? Yeah, they have no weight relief, so that's part of the 4 point whatever ounces it was. They could have relieved some weight, but again, at the price. You've got a working, well-placed flipper. The liner lock works great. The action is great. The comfort is pretty good. The clip stinks, in my opinion. Okay, it just does. It's not uncomfortable necessarily, but it's way too stiff. It's way too. I'm not sure that you would find even one to replace it with that layout, but you know, maybe you can. I don't know. As for the choil, again, I keep saying you can sneak your finger up there, but you can see what I'm trying to show you is the plunge. It gives you quite a bit of space to sharpen, I guess is my point. It gets pretty thick back there, but you know, you have plenty of room to sharpen. The weight, you know, it doesn't really bother me. It's a little, oops, I'm hitting the wire. It's a little over 4 ounces. I know that's heavy for a 3-something inch blade, but you got to consider cost. The blade shape I know this is smaller, but it kind of reminds me of the Elementum. Okay, if it were longer, but Elementum's a hollow grind, that's different too. But the you know, it's a good knife. Now, that's all I've got to say about the FreeTiger 903, but you can't really go wrong with it, I don't think. The flipper tab, you know, it'll stop it, and then you just drop it. Stop and drop. Stop, drop, and roll. What do you think, guys? This handle material could, well, in this color, I think this is technically gray. I don't think they call this blue. I think it's technically gray. Either way, you could try dyeing it some color. I don't know how it'll turn out, but I don't know. Maybe you could try the back spacers first or something. Full steel liners. Yeah, I mean, that's my biggest, you've got great access to the lock bar. There's no jimping on it, which is fine by me when you have this much access. I actually prefer it that way, because when you have in fact, they kind of chamfer it, don't they? Yeah, they do. Because when you have your finger here, it's not uncomfortable. If there was jimping on there, I could imagine it would be. So no jimping there, great access to the lock bar. Is it straight? Yeah, it's perfectly straight. I don't know where the camera is. There it is. The clip. Boy, it looks like that clip. So it looks like it's right hand only. What could they have done better? They could have put some weight relief in. That would have definitely brought the weight down. Although I don't mind the weight of this knife. It feels right for what it is to me. I really like the action. They did that great. What else would the clip was my biggest complaint. I would have done something completely different. It's not even about the size, you know, because it's so strong that being so small, it's not going anywhere. It's just going to eat your pockets. Handle material is fine. I don't mind the smoothness of the G10. It actually kind of feels good. Yeah, so that's all I had to say about that. If you want a budget knife, you like D2, you want a trusted source, meaning that this particular model has been tested. That's kind of cool looking with the multi, you know, satin / stone wash. Hey, this knife is fine, especially if you don't mind the weight. It is, you know, the more I feel it, it is a little heavy. They could have done some weight relief, but I would keep the weight to keep that action. Let's put it that way. How about that? If I would sacrifice the action at all for some reason to weight relieve it, I would rather keep the weight and let it do that. Very cool in that sense. The location of the flipper tab is ideal. When looking at the geometry of a knife, you know, in a flipper tab, especially, well, specifically the flipper tab, if it's at the level of the pivot, it's going to be okay. You know, if it's below the pivot, you're going to probably have to really work it to get it out, because I don't know how to say this. By the time I get this flipper tab down, you know, landed down where my finger's no longer touching it, it's already halfway swung out and got the momentum it needs to continue. And it doesn't have that far to go to hit that D10. So you just do it where the jimping is and you're not gonna fail. All right. Anyways, that's it, guys. That's the FreeTiger 903. FreeTiger FT903. I believe this is the gray color, as blue as it is. Any questions, leave them down below. Comments, concerns. Do you have one? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you suggest this to people? Let people know, because this is the journey, man. Some of us need to start buying a knife, whether it be the first one or not. And is this a good budget knife? I know I'm late to the show. Every reviewer in the world has probably done this knife already, but I'm new, and that's what this is about, starting the journey. So is this a good knife to start a journey on? Should somebody buy this? That's the question. You tell me. Next video, I'm going to be sharpening my kitchen knife. I haven't done it in a while. Take care, guys. Have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please give me a thumbs up. For more content like this, consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell so you don't miss anything. Have a great day. Also, just so you guys know, leave any questions or comments down below. You know I love interacting with all of you, and you guys interact together too, so we can all help each other on this EDC journey. Again, have a great day.